Taylor Sheridan has cast several A-list actors in his Yellowstone franchise, and quite a few have died. Sheridan started the neo-Western Montana-based franchise with his flagship Yellowstone series, beginning in 2018, which became a television sensation. With Kevin Costner as John Dutton III at its helm, Yellowstone has always been synonymous with star power, and Sheridan's other Yellowstone series continued the trend. Sheridan followed Yellowstone with two prequels, 1883 and 1923. With big names like Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren joining the cast of 1923 as Jacob and Cara Dutton, and Tim McGraw and Faith Hill joining the cast of 1883, the Yellowstone franchise solidified itself as a place for well-known actors to shine. However, the death that follows the Dutton family tree and its other characters is a bedrock of each Yellowstone show, causing many memorable deaths over the years. Yellowstone's big-name stars are no exception to the franchise's defining element. 8. Kevin Costner. Kevin Costner plays John Dutton III in Yellowstone. Perhaps the most memorable death in the Yellowstone franchise is Kevin Costner's John Dutton. John Dutton is the soul of the neo-Western franchise, leading his family through the hardships of modern times while desperately trying to maintain his hold on his family's legacy, the Yellowstone Dutton Ranch. As such, John Dutton's death in Yellowstone Season 5 was a defining and memorable moment, changing the franchise forever. Shockingly, John Dutton's death came at the beginning of Yellowstone Season 5, Part 2, starting the events of the original show's final season. Fans were devastated to see Kevin Costner's Yellowstone exit. Still, it's worth noting that Kevin Costner's John Dutton was always supposed to die in Yellowstone so that his son, Case, Luke Grimes, could enact his plan to relinquish his family's heirloom ranch to the ancestors of its indigenous stewards. 7. Danny Huston. Danny Huston plays Dan Jenkins in Yellowstone. Losing Danny Huston's flagship character at the end of Yellowstone Season 2 was bittersweet. Huston is an award-winning actor, perhaps best known for his role in Martin Scorsese's Leonardo DiCaprio-led The Aviator, Alfonso Cuarón's Children of Men, and Alejandro Iñárritu's 21 Grams. Huston plays Dan Jenkins in the flagship Yellowstone series, an antagonistic but relatively harmless man who wants to build a luxury development complex next to the Yellowstone Ranch. Dan dies at the end of Yellowstone Season 2, his death the result of a targeted attack by Malcolm, Neil McDonough, and Teal Beck, Terry Serpico, two entrepreneurs in the area who didn't want to see Dan Jenkins and Thomas Rainwater's, Gil Birmingham, combined hotel and casino built at the gateway of the Yellowstone National Park. Still, while Dan Jenkins had been John's adversary, he was the lesser of evils in the end, and they had teamed up to defeat the brothers before they came for Jenkins. 6. Neil McDonough. Neil McDonough plays Malcolm Beck in Yellowstone. Neil McDonough plays Malcolm Beck, half of the Beck brothers pair who target John Dutton and Dan Jenkins due to their connections to Thomas Rainwater's casino. Before he was Malcolm Beck, Neil McDonough's best moves and TV shows included his role in Steven Spielberg's Minority Report with Tom Cruise, the miniseries Band of Brothers, and NBC's Boomtown. McDonough's character dies in Yellowstone Season 2's finale, memorably killed by John Dutton. John kills Malcolm Beck after he has a group of people kidnap his grandson, Tate, Brecken Merrill. We have little empathy for Beck's character when he passes, especially after he killed an entire section of John's cattle herd and traumatized John's grandson. Still, John Dutton memorably leaves Malcolm Beck to die in peace, contrasting his brother's death. Case Dutton shoots Teal Beck as he sits on the toilet. 5. Josh Holloway. Josh Holloway plays Rourke Morris in Yellowstone. Josh Holloway is doubtlessly best known for playing Sawyer in ABC's Lost from 2004 to 2010. He also has recognizable roles in action flicks like Mission Impossible, Ghost Protocol with Tom Cruise and Sabotage with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Holloway plays Rourke Morris in Yellowstone, another antagonist who came after the Yellowstone Dutton Ranch and memorably sparred with Beth Dutton, Kelly Riley. As a market equities stockholder, Rourke also owned the nearby Cross Creek Ranch, where he was known to fish in the river. However, Rip Wheeler retaliated after Rourke hired Wade Morrow, Boots Sutherland, to cause trouble for the Yellowstone Ranch Cowboys. Wheeler found Holloway's character on the river and, after getting close to Morris, Rip killed Rourke by tossing an agitated rattlesnake at him, the venom causing the market equities shareholder to die quickly. 4. Sam Elliott. Sam Elliott plays Shay Brennan in 1883. Sam Elliott, the star of Western classics like Tombstone and the made-for-TV series Conager, had one of the most memorable deaths at the end of 1883, Taylor Sheridan's first Yellowstone prequel. Elliott plays Shay Brennan in 1883's story, a Union veteran and Oregon Trail wagon train leader who teams up with James Dutton, Tim McGraw, on a journey west. The expedition along the trail is Shay's last.